So,
what does make you happy?
you know, adventure, doing different things, building things, helping people out. Yeah, I would say. I mean, sex does too. Yeah. Connecting with people, hanging out with friends, surfing, being out in the sun, working out. More simple shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that like doesn't require money, but
In that video, he said, if you know the future, then it's the same as the past. So the video is all about introducing unknowns into your life.
yeah, and just kind of like, you know, taking it as it comes. Because I mean, yeah, if you knew your whole life, like it was all mapped out for you, would it be interesting?
No.
Yeah, probably not. So I mean, that's kind of like, I feel like a lot of people, they map out their life and they, you know, do these things and they go to their job and every day it's the same fucking thing and they know it's going to be the same thing and there's not like a whole lot of intrigue in that. Fuck, I don't know what I'm going to be doing next year. Like if you would have asked me if I was doing this 5 years ago, I would have, you know, said no. You know what I mean? So it's like, I definitely have that unknown element in my life. And I think that's probably, you know, part of the reason why it's intriguing to people, because they never know where it's going to go.
What was the best day of your life?
Man, best day of my life. I don't know. I would say, I did mushrooms on a beach with my girlfriend, my buddy and his girl, another buddy and his girlfriend, and another buddy and his girlfriend. And it didn't cost me anything. And I remember smoking a joint on the way back and just thinking like a hippie in a van could have had the same day as me on this beach and it wouldn't have cost him anything. And it was just, it was pretty eye-opening. And I didn't do much. Like I fucking swam in the ocean, hung out with my friends, did some breath holding stuff, went for a swim, laid out on the beach. It was just like, it was a great day, but it didn't require much, you know, surfing, stuff like that.
So life's simple. The great things in life can be simple.
Honestly, man, yeah, some workouts, some outdoor stuff, hanging out with my buddies, like shit that you don't need a lot of money to like have some really good times. And when I was in the military, I didn't really have much money and I had a fucking great time. The thing money does is it gives you access, it gives you the ability to not put up with shit from people, which is nice. I don't like putting up with shit from people. I don't like taking orders. I don't like people telling me what to do. So I could say the positives of money is the freedom, is the power, flexibility, stuff like that. But it definitely comes with a lot of headaches too.
Right.
So
same with fame.
Yeah, fame more headaches than positives. But as far as like the stuff that I, you know, focused on, like the girls and money, fame is pretty powerful. So, but, I mean, it just depends on what your objectives are, but I would say it's probably a net negative. Like if I had a kid, I wouldn't choose to make him famous. I'd let him make that choice because it's not something that you can kind of go back on, you know? Like once you fucking take that gene out of the bottle, like it's, you know, kind of hard to stuff him back in. So I don't know. I made my bed, I gotta sleep in that motherfucker and I can't complain. I feel like a lot of people want to be sleeping in that same bed. So I'm, you know, I'm not gonna bitch about it, but it's definitely got some negatives that I feel like people don't consider.
Yeah.
Like the lack of privacy. I mean, absolute lack of privacy. So, and everything that you do is, you know, potentially going to be magnified, you know, going to be judged by the world, going to be, you know, scrutinized, whatever. So, you know, I'd say there's a decent amount of pressure as well. And I would say that like, I think happiness comes more from having good friendships and doing things with your friends. I would say that that's where I get the bulk of my happiness. And as much as like I talk shit about the 9 to 5 guys, I mean, that's just like me personally. Like I don't think that life would make me happy, but that's not to say that like somebody can't be happier than me doing that stuff. Because if they've got good friends and they're having fun, like, you know, maybe they're fucking having a game night. Like I had a game night at my buddy's house. We just like fucking played Monopoly, and then we played a $20 poker game. And we played Risk, and I had like a fucking great time. You know what I mean? It was just like 5 of my buddies hanging out, talking shit, you know? And so, and it was, you know, you know, a buddy of mine that I was in the military with, and a couple of his friends, the drummer from System of a Down, and this other dude. And, you know, we had a great time. And then I went on tour with that guy, the same guy, the drummer, whatever, and fucking 3 weeks in Europe, and we went to sold out shows and whatever, and it was just like fucking sucked. Like I thought I was gonna get all this pussy, I thought it was gonna be great. We didn't get laid for like 3 weeks, man, and it was just like the biggest letdown. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm like with a rock star, we're like doing all this shit. And it was just like so fucking lame, you know? And like that game night was way more fun, right? Like, so like a lot of times, like it's not like, it's kind of counterintuitive, you know? You wouldn't expect stuff. A lot of people think like, oh, if I got a bunch of money or I got this or whatever, then I'd be happy. And
So money doesn't buy happiness.
oh, fuck no. Money, just a lot of headaches and problems. I mean, and there's like good stuff to it too. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of positives, but
It can buy pleasure. But
yeah, I mean, I talked about this a few times in interviews before. Is like the thing about money, the reason that it makes you unhappy is because it basically raises the bar. So like right now, I'm used to the best food in the world. I'm used to the best watches in the world. Only the hottest women could even like turn me on. Like I'm trapped in this like fucking box, right? And all these things, like, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, I'm doing stuff that like would make other people's like dreams come true. And for me, it's just like baseline. It's not like anything that like I'm like super stoked about, you know, like, I mean, you know, a fucking ton of hot chicks in a night or 2 nights or whatever. And like, it'll be fun, whatever, but like, I won't really like be like crazy happy about it. Or, you know, I bought that new Ferrari when it came out, and I was like, I was stoked on it for like 20 fucking minutes, maybe. And I drove it like 120 miles in like the 10 months I had it, and then fucking sold it. And I was just like, damn, I expected to get like at least like a few months of happiness out of that one. It's like nothing. And like, as you get more and more used to that shit, it's just baselines you. So then everything else is a letdown. Like if I were to drive like, I don't know, whatever would be like not as good as a Ferrari, you know, like that like 20 years ago I would think would be bad. Maybe like a Mustang Cobra, like 20 years ago I'd think that'd be like a fucking badass car. And now I'd be like a big letdown. Like if that was like my rental car, I'd be like, oh, what a piece of shit, you know? But like it's the same car that would have stoked me out like not that long ago. So what it does is it basically just like puts you at a spot where like only the dopest shit satisfies you, then everything else will let down. So it's kind of hard, like if you think about it in that, you know, perspective, like you have to have the best chefs, you have to have the best whatever, all this stuff to just like, you know, for you to feel like, you know, you're in like your environment, you're in your comfort zone, right? But then like once you get to that point, then like you have nowhere else to go up and you can only go down. So I think that's why, and then once you get used to that level, then if you like can't afford to like live on that level, man, you've got a long fucking way to drop. So I think that's like the negative correlation between money and happiness is your ability to adapt to whatever your current situation is. So like within, I don't know how many day or month period it is, but you will adapt to almost any situation. So if you adapt to a really great situation, then you've got a lot of fucking way to fall. But if you adapt to a really shitty situation, like let's say you're in Auschwitz or you're in a POW camp or whatever, like, and you get out, like you're gonna be fucking stoked about like, you know, taking a shit in a regular bathroom instead of a fucking, you know, like your bedroom, and like you're gonna be stoked that you get to eat like a fucking meal that you would normally think would be shitty, right? Like all these like little things. Like when I got out of boot camp, stoked about all this stuff. So you know, just perspective.
And so then how do you stay happy? New challenges, like companies,
Yeah, man,
presidencies.
you just gotta, you know, try and climb new mountains, you know, just try and, you know, accomplish new things. That's the way that I've found, you know.